Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick follow-up video to my Lay Lit video reaction, and the reason is because I think it's really important today's day and age where everybody's a critic. Everyone is critical about everything. I mean, just watch any movie reviews, everyone is an expert. And it's very easy to say you don't like something, but people don't really justify what they're saying. And I think it's very important to not just say if you don't like something or if something doesn't work for you, but to say how you can fix it or you can make it better. So I just threw this video together really quick. That's why I'm standing in front of this closet. Hope you don't mind. But what I did is I actually re-edited the Lay Lit music video in a way that I think makes a lot more sense, and it's more narrative, and it makes a lot of, I think, just much more cohesive. Now obviously there's no sound because, you know, when I move things around it's going to throw the whole song off, so it makes no sense to do that, and I cut out a lot of stuff. And this is what you call in editing, you call it just a rough assembly. So it's not, timing isn't right, the shots necessarily aren't correct, but I want you to see how I assemble together this video in a completely different way, or in a very different way in terms of narrative. And so I think it just works a lot better. So check it out, guys, and let me know what you think, and I'll see you in a second. Okay guys, so this is how I would fix Lay's Lit music video. I listened to, read some of the comments, and some of you talked about how it comes from some Chinese opera and stuff like that. Probably there's some mystical elements. I saw there was a witch there and stuff. So the way I re-edited this is in a way that uses that mysticism through the entire video. So in the past, we see the witch, and she kind of is the entry point into every new phase of the video. So it's kind of like that supernatural entry point, and you're going to see this as we go along. Granted, there aren't all the shots that I need because there's some things that I would do differently, and they're not exactly like they should be as far as what I would do, but this is going to give you an idea of how I would fix this video to make it more of a narrative. So let's start off in the beginning. Entering the same way, although, you know, I want to enter, you see he's wearing a mask right now. I definitely want to see his face first because he is the main character of this. And so instead of creating mystery like we usually can or do, I actually want to see his face first. So I'd love to see a close-up of him walking through but without the mask. So he's walking through, no mask. Entering the scene, drum, drum, drum. So I added these drums because the drums are kind of mystical too, and because, you know, drums kind of go with opera and music, and so the drums are here. I added the drums here, which leads us into our opera singer who's sort of this witch, which gives it kind of this is sort of a tale being told from the past. And she's kind of framing it. So check it out again. Our main character, entering the scene, these drums, entering, the witch is there, her presence is there, and then all this stuff is happening now. It's almost like every time that something happens, she is a part of it. So he's being surrounded. I cut out some of these shots and some of the wonky edits. He turns around, cut out some, trim this down a little bit. And as he's being surrounded, something bad is going to happen. Boom, we see the witch again. She's doing something. Obviously, this wouldn't be the exact same shot. I'm just putting her there. It would be something different with her, but her presence would be there. She's there doing something. He's being surrounded again. He has no way out. These shots are fine. They're good. All these dolly shots. Then we close up on him being surrounded. We see the witch with an eye. Then we see the dragon eye open, and then we close up on his eye. Okay, so let's do that again. So he's surrounded. We see the witch's eye in the hand, a dragon eye open, and then close up on his eye. So we're making a connection that she's doing something. There's the dragon, he is the dragon. And then we end that scene with him drawing his sword, about to fight, and then we go into the opening credits, open titles. The reason why I want him to start and draw his sword, it's because it leads us into something later. It brings the connection. It doesn't just stop. It actually is action moving forward, and there's a handoff of action. So let's look at that one more time, this opening. We see his face, not a mask. Something's happening, we don't know what. Drum, 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 mystical. Oh, there's a witch. Oh wait, He's going to this place with these people, but something's wrong. They're running out of the castle, and oh, they're actually surrounding him. Something bad. Here's our witch doing something again, and they're surrounding him. This isn't what he thought. This is a bad news. Hopeless situation, completely surrounded. The witch, dragon eye, his eye. Then he starts to fight, and then opening credits. Okay, lit. Here we go. And then we have the witch bringing us back in. She's doing something. The drums rising up again. I put the witch here, then have the drums of the guy lifting his arms, like raising from the dead, because I'm trying to bring a parallel between the drums of like the kind of the opera and also the supernatural thing of the witch. So we stop. Now the witch brings us back in. She's doing something. Again, and by the way, all these are probably not going to be the same black and white that they are. I probably would change the colors up. Maybe all the past is black and white and the present is color, or maybe it could all be color, so don't take the black and white here for what I would do. So we just stopped, okay? And then we're entering our video again, and the witch brings us in. Bam, she's doing something. Drums, he's lifting his arms like rising something from the dead. The lotus flowers coming out of the water like from the dead. And this is, I want him to rise out of the water from the dead. So it's like a resurrection, like he is the new spirit of this old person. So the witch invokes the spirit, remember the eye of the dragon. The guy lifts his arms, like the opera, raising from the dead. This lotus flower comes out of the water like it's being resurrected. Then we cut to the scene, and I want to see him, this isn't shot, but him rising out of the water, just like this lotus flower is rising out of the water. Then I want him to rise out of the water. But I want to actually see his back. In his back, I want him to have a dragon tattoo. So when he rises out of the water, I want to see a dragon tattoo on his back as he rises. So again, we're drawing a connection from the past to the present now. Same witch, drummer lifting his arms like he's raising something dead. The lotus flower comes out of the water, he comes out of the water, the reborn spirit. And then the flash of the witch again, but it flashes red, which leads us into this opening of the song. And that's where the whole song starts. And we've already established a connection between these two people, the mysticism, and we've also established the dragon, that this person is the reborn spirit of that old dude. All that is established. Witch again, and song starts. Opens up. And the witch and we just kind of add other elements, but when she kind of pops in here and there when it's important. More lotus flowers, because, you know, lotus flower, I guess we're using as resurrection now. More mysticism. Oh, and this is where, you know, I cut out a lot of stuff, but this is actually where the chorus hits. So this is a lot shorter than the whole thing, but where the chorus hits is right here. Before the chorus hits, we see the witch, and boom. And so before, when the chorus hit, it was sort of just like he was silhouetted in kind of this doorway. I want there to be a thunderclap that's thunderous. And so we lead up, witch is doing something, and chorus hits right there, which leads us into a whole new set piece for the chorus. You know, to kind of hype it up even more. And then what we do is we're cutting in more dancing. So we started here, then we're cutting in a whole new set piece dancing. And this goes on for a while with the chorus. Again, resurrection theme, witch, all kind of going on at once in this part. Now, when the witch comes in, we enter a new part of the song again. Remember, every time I'm using her to bring in and elevate everything, like she's doing something, casting a spell and making everything different. This is where I bring back what happened in the past, where I'm drawing these two people together. So remember in the past, way back here, I had her, dragon eye, his eye, and then he's starting to fight, but we don't see what happens. Now, later, towards the end, or 2/3 through, this is where I bring it back again. But again, it is, so this is where the chorus starts, big hit on the chorus, big flash, big thunder. I bring in the witch to change everything up again, and she's bringing back the past right here. And so this is where we see the fight and draw a parallel between the past and the present. So we see the past and the present working together now. The dancing plus the fighting and resurrecting. And the fighting being cut in between the dancing. Like these two people are the same person, right? And he's rising from the dead. It's his spirit rising, and we see the dragon tattoo on his back. And then just before we hit the end and new place, okay, now we see again witch's eye, dragon eye, his eye in the past, and now here, there wasn't one, I want his eye in the present. So his eye in the past, and there was no place for me to cut to this because there was no close-up on his face in the present, but his eye in the present. So now it's a parallel to what we just saw, and we're even drawing more parallels before we push into the new section. So her eye, witch's eye, dragon eye, his eye in the past, his eye in the present. And now, bam, here's the dragon. And now here's this whole section. Now we cut back and forth between these two new sections with the dragon in the background and him basically kind of being the dragon in the foreground. So in the background, we see the dragon, and he is now resurrected as the dragon in the foreground. It's all fiery, fiery, fiery. Lotus flower. Cut back and forth between these two things. See the witch one more time. And close up on him, and that's the end of the video. So again, one more time. The witch's eye, she's doing something. Here, this, I just want to see just his face as the dragon and pushing in really, really, really close. Push in, push in, push in, push in. Super, super close. And scene. So do you guys see what I did there and how I just, I put everything together? I set everything up in the beginning with the witch is sort of like our entry into it and her kind of creating everything. So she's well established. We're establishing in the beginning. This is a character from the past, but somehow there's a witch involved and she's doing things. And actually, I also was thinking that he should have a dragon tattoo on him as well, so we can actually even draw that parallel more. And then just before, he's surrounded, and then her eye, dragon eye, his eye, and then about to fight. Then as we go into the credits, she does something again, her eye, resurrection, 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 with dragon tattoo on his back. And here he is, and the whole song starts. And you see how all those things tied together, and we get it. And it's all tied together for this music video now. And now every time we see the witch, we know something's going to happen. And so it just kind of goes in sections where this is like section 1 of the song until we hit right here, the chorus, bam, right? Because now we have set changes for the chorus. Set changes and intermingled, cut this with a new dance section. So the dance section and that set change, resurrection, witch again, and new section, bam. Now we draw in the parallel between the past and the present. Here's the past, continuation of what we saw in the past, and here he is dancing the present. So we're saying this is the same guy. Resurrection from the past and the present. Fighting, past, dancing in the present. Resurrection again. Witch is a new section, dragon eye, his eye, and then his eye in the present, which we don't have. Bam, the dragon. He has become the dragon, and there he is, the dragon. So we cut back and forth between these two parts where he's dancing with the dragon in the background, and he's become the dragon. And we see the witch one more time, and then really sharp close-up on him. So, and actually it'd be great in the end if we just went right into his eye and showed his eye, right in his eye, and then just like the dragon eye, and then we just stopped. Now, I know I cut out a lot of scenes, like set pieces. There definitely could be more set pieces. Like it didn't have to be coupled up in, these two together, then these two, and then there definitely could be a lot more texture in there, but it needs to be modern day texture. What I did is I cut out all the new, like the old period stuff that was in the new modern day because it just didn't fit. So anyways, guys, that's an idea of what I would do, how I think it could be solve a lot of problems, how it could be a better narrative. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you get it. Let me know if you get what I was trying to do, and let me know how you like it. So as always, guys, I appreciate you, and thanks for taking a look at this with me. Again, this is how I would fix Lay's Lit. Oh, and if you want to see the whole thing put together all in one take, because I know I stopped it a lot, rewinded a lot, so it's hard to tell the continuity for the whole thing, I'm going to post it right here, of course without music because, it's going to mess everything up. But here is the way the whole thing would look in my version of it right now. So that was my redirect and re-edit of Lay's Lit music video. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think you like it? Would you rather do something else? Did it work for you? Did it not work for you? I know things are so subjective and objective so much of the time. And for a lot of you guys, I know you've been asking about my directing. I actually haven't directed anything in a couple of years, which is a real bummer. The reason is because we've been trying to raise financing for some small low budget projects, and the money just hasn't come in yet, and that's why. So I've been writing, as you know, a lot of TV shows and a lot of features. My hope is in writing a lot of these TV series that they'll give me a chance to direct a couple of those episodes, and that will be my foot in the door over there. So I really love directing stuff. I'm really hoping to do some stuff in the future, hoping to raise some money to be able to do other projects. For me, obviously, I just love it, and this is one of the ways that I would make this music video better, in my opinion. So again, let me know how you think. As always, I want to shoot this off really quickly, just as a follow-up, so you guys can kind of see what I'm thinking, and maybe I can learn something from you, maybe you can learn something from me. Who knows? I just appreciate everything people are saying. I appreciate y'all coming along with me. I know my channel is very, very, very small, and thanks for being here. And I try to read all the comments, and I try to reply back to as many as I can. I know I can't get to all the requests, but I'm trying to get to some. So appreciate it. Love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. So for this, that's a wrap.